sound test.
All right, let's see.
We didn't even turn off the AC.
I'll turn on the AC. Alright.
What's up, Crown community? It's I, Aubrey, and while we are, as usual, having technical difficulties,
As always.
Efren's gonna be turning off the AC and the lights and everything else.
And everything nice.
How you guys doing?
Nice.
All right, let me see here. One person's watching.
All right, we already.
All right, we have one person watching. Let's
nice. What's up? What's up, you guys? We're gonna go ahead and just quickly
introduce ourselves first.
Get right down to it.
For ANDOR episode
5.
What episode are you? 5, and it's called "The Axe Doesn't Forget" or "The Axe Never Forgets." What's the title of it? "The Axe Forgets." That's the title.
The axe forgets.
No, it doesn't. And there's a reason why the title is that way. There's a big meaning as to why the title is called "The Axe Forgets."
And why does it forget?
Because the axe is just like the Empire, it chops up wood, right? But whatever it chops, it just keeps going and chops up wood. You know, as the axe doesn't forget, the trees will always remember that same axe that chops it.
That chopped it down.
So what is that do you have a better definition for that?
No, that's just like the definition that they said. Yeah.
Okay, I bet you didn't even know, huh? Alright, let me fix this a little bit. Alright, go ahead, take the steer a little bit.
Alright, so welcome. My name is Efren. Welcome to our live. We're actually going to be doing the live review on Andor episode 5, which is called The Axe Forgets. So, I finished watching it yesterday. He just finished watching it today. Mm-hmm. So, we're really ready to talk about this. We were actually going to do it yesterday. However, things came up.
I had to pick up my brother from Hawaii. Actually, no, I had to pick up my brother from the airport because he was arriving from Honolulu, guys. So, aloha.
You had to pick him up in Hawaii.
From anybody who's from Hawaii and stuff.
Shout outs to the Hawaiians.
Shout outs to my islanders.
My islanders. Those are his cousins, distant cousins.
Yeah, you can see that. Islanders, yeah.
So, we're really excited. I really thought it was going to get down to the heist itself, but it didn't. But it was good because it kind of did open up some of the characters' personalities, and they were able to talk about. You kind of get to start knowing some of the characters more, because that's when they got more into depth of his partners that he's partnering up with. And as you can tell, like, there is still some tension that needed to be basically
resolved
in a way. Yeah, so that way they can go into this mission trusting each other and not having to worry about looking over their shoulders. Now, there was some interesting things that came up on this episode that really got me really happy. One of them was the crystal that what's his name?
The Kyber
Cassian?
crystal.
Yeah, it's a sky crystal, so it's like a new form of a crystal, like the Kyber crystal.
Well, Cassian's always had it the whole entire time because Luthen
let him. Basically, he gave it to him as a deposit that he's gonna get his money when they're done with this heist. Mm-hmm. You know, so, but I always had an idea, like, dude, what kind of crystal is that? Like, I thought that was a Kyber crystal, and come find out it is a Kyber crystal. So, you know, as we all know, like, that basically is what they use to make lightsabers. So that was really cool and fun fact to be able to get something that's more Star Wars related.
Yeah. You know? I mean, we need, as far as, like, how this show is going, let me turn this up real quick, sorry. You need some sort of a familiarity with some of the other Star Wars stuff, just to keep your typical Star Wars viewers engaged into the show. Mm-hmm. Because just like last episode, this was very dialogue-ish. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I still like it. And the reason why is because it really, dude, this show gives me a lot of Schindler's List vibes and Inglourious Bastards vibes. Like, they really portrayed the Empire as Nazis. Do you see? Did you see that one scene how the Empire is walking? It's
Yeah,
very
they
like
have to learn to walk
Hitler.
too.
It's very Hitlerish. Like, and in Inglorious Bastards, I think there was a scene in Inglorious Bastards, which is one of my favorite favorite movie by Tarantino. By the way, one of my three top favorite movies from Tarantino. I think Pulp Fiction maybe number two or number one, but Inglorious Bastards. There was a scene where they had to infiltrate and pretend they were Nazis to get information or kill this one general or just get information,
Yeah.
right? And they had to infiltrate. So it kind of reminds me of that, and all the Imperials, just the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they address each other,
They follow
soldier like.
commands.
It's
Yeah.
very Nazi like, and George Lucas already wrote it this way. I mean, he made the Empire look like, okay, these are like the Nazis. Like, these are the people who are just killing people, genocide, just killing people and people for no reason, and
Well,
of
because
course
they don't
for
obey.
power and for power and stuff. So as far as that goes, just going back to some of the characters, like Skeen is one of the characters that does not trust him. I think it's Skeen. Skeen is one of the characters that does not trust him. That does not trust Clem, or we'll call him Clem for now because that's his AKA name for now. For this that's his code name, Clem. So Scheme is like, I don't know about this guy. Like, why does this guy like have a kyber crystal that's worth like 5,000 credits or whatever, 10,000, whatever?
30,000.
Is it 30,000 or whatever it is? But it's valuable.
Supposed
It's
to be worth
why,
more than 50.
Why is this guy doing a job when he can just easily like sell this kyber sky kyber crystal? And just make money off of that. What is he doing here? Obviously, Clem is there for another reason, for a deeper reason, because of Luthien, right? So
Well, that's why Clem basically put it all on the table and said, "Well, this is why." And he kind of basically said like he was hired to do this for a certain price. Well, I don't know if he said the amount of price, but
he was just
then
hired. He was just doing it for money. He was hired to do it. He was just hired to be there.
yeah.
So he's not getting like, I don't know if he's gonna get a percentage off of what they're gonna steal. But this isn't infiltration. This is like this is a you need it's two episodes in planning to the heist, prior to the heist. But going back to like some of the characters like Clem and stuff, I mean not Clem but Scheme, he's very like doesn't trust anybody, and you kind of wonder, okay, why is this guy such a jerk to the rookies, to the new people? And then he tells about his story like, okay, look, I know I'm an a-hole and everything, but look, my brother was a farmer, and the Empire
Basically
actually.
took his land, or they took his property. His business is what they took, and it drove him to go
No,
on
no,
to.
well, they did more than that. So the Empire, the Imperials, I forgot what they call them. I think they call them like the Imperial perfects or something like that. So they came in, and I think something about like flooding his land or something. And then I think when my brother tried to fight back, they killed him, and that's why I have no love for the Empire. No, he didn't commit suicide. He killed him. They
Because
killed
I
his
thought
brother,
that
bro.
he
He killed.
was
I
in
saw
there.
it
He
twice.
put
They killed his brother, and that's why he has no love for him, because the Imperials killed his brother, basically. So that's what happens, and I think that was a touching moment because you can see why Skeen acts like that, and the fact that he's had a bad experience. Of course, the Empire, the Imperials, took the life of his brother away from him. It just shows like why he's so distrusting towards others, and especially new people. I mean, what do you think so far with the characters and stuff?
Well, I mean, I like the. I mean, they're all. She's cool. I mean, all the characters are. They're all being really cool with him, especially that one guy who's like the techie guy, the guy who did the actual.
I think his name is Nemec. I'm not sure. I think it's Nemec because
Nemec.
you got Nemec. You got Nemec, Cinta, Skeen, Val, and Taramin. And Taramin is the guy who's teaching him how to pretty much walk like a soldier. It's like, oh, chest up, back up, this, and then of course Clem's like, hey, don't touch me, okay? You tell me, if you want to say something, you say it, okay? You don't touch me. So I guess he doesn't like getting touched. And then Taramin's like, do you know how to walk like a soldier? And then I like the part where towards the end, while they're still training him, each member is teaching him like this is how the Imperials walk, this is how they talk, this is how they address each other.
Oh yeah.
Everything, hold everything on the right hand, and then he checked him. It's like no, um, Tamarin is right left-handed, and everyone's holding on the right. Everyone should start holding with their left. So I like the fact that every little detail is addressed in there, because they will sense that if they do mess up one if they do skip a beat or miss a beat, then somebody's gonna notice because everything's routine. And the way they are trained, all the Imperials and the soldiers, the way they are trained, everything's all routine.
Yeah.
So I really like this attention to detail with all this stuff, especially with the Imperials. I mean, with training them how to become how to act like soldiers because they have to get in there and infiltrate. They have to follow Lieutenant Gorn, I believe. Is it Gorn? I
Yeah,
think it's
the
Gorn.
guy who's
The guy,
working.
the mole
Yeah,
inside
the
the
spy
base.
basically.
So also,
Yeah, you could tell too because the way that they were walking, one was pointing at his partner,
no, they're
while
all
the other
right.
one
No,
was.
they're all right-handed, and then Tamarin is left-handed, so they had to follow his lead because, like, why you're supposed to shoot with your left or something. But he just noticed that, like, oh, we're all holding. Everyone here's right-handed. You guys need to
I
teach
thought the
yourself how
way
to
I
be
saw it
left.
was two of them were pointing right. I mean, one was in the back was pointing right, the other one was pointing outward. One of them was pointing inward, where the other one was pointing outward. That's why he wanted to switch them, so that
Yeah,
way they
yeah,
all look
that
like they're
that too,
pointing outward
that too.
and not pointing at each other.
That too. So if they had to switch, but like, I mean, my point is, I like the attention to detail on that, and I
Yeah,
like
the
how he
way
notices
the way
that.
Clem does that. He's very detailed on studying people, on how they walk, how they act. He can kind of basically already figure you out, which is really cool. I mean, but he
I mean, I
learned
don't
that
know
when
if he
he was
can
younger.
really figure you out. I mean, he's like, but he's very he's sharp. Like he does notice things. Just like how they didn't know how to like input or pull out the what do you call that? The weight that they needed to pull out. Like they needed to figure it out. And they're like, hey Clem, do you know how to do this? And he's like, wait a minute, you don't know how to do it? Like, what if I wasn't here? Like, what would you guys have done?
Yeah,
And then, what's her name?
that's when he said, "I'm driving it."
Bella's like, we would have figured it out if you weren't here. And then he was like, okay, look, change the plans. I'm gonna have to fly this because I don't think you guys know what you're doing. So let me fly this. I've been in the base before. Let me do this. It's one of those things. But it's a lot of planning on this one. It's you with this kind of show, it needs your it needs your attention. Like it really needs your undivided attention to really like really like know the show, like really understand what's going on. It really needs your attention.
Yeah,
But I like it. I so far like it. The Tie Fighter, just that one Tie Fighter alone, they made the Tie Fighter so scary.
I
They
know.
made the Tie Fighter as it was flying and roaming around, and I think the Tie Fighter was just doing its rounds, just to check up on like the villagers and whatnot. So they had to hide their weapons. They had to hide everything. I like the sound and the roar of the Tie Fighters,
Yeah,
and the fact that every time you hear it, there's just that screeching sound is just terrifying, and it is because if it's you trying to shoot on a Tie Fighter or even an X-wing, like those things are fast, and one shot from those Tie Fighters or an X-wing, you're done. You know,
yeah. Especially
so
how fast it goes. Like that thing goes like the line just
Mach
as
speed,
yeah, probably
Mach
like
10.
Mach 6 or Mach 7 or something like that. That's how much of it would approximately would be the speed. Because when you hear it, it just sounds like you can hear the sound barrier. It sounds dope, But I can't imagine having to try to shoot that shit down just with a gun. Like it's hard.
I mean, if you played Star Fox, if you ever played Star Fox from Nintendo 64, there's like you got your battle tank, you got your jet wing, and then there's you can actually select yourself as like a regular person with a zapper. So you know, I think the tank always wins. I think as far as like when you're in the ground level, but then when you have air support, you have more of a vantage point.
Yeah.
so you can definitely like you'll see everything from sky high and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about Uncle Harlow that this mother of the officer keeps talking about?
I don't even know who Uncle Marlowe is. I know
Uncle Harlow.
I know they were mentioning Uncle Harlow like
Yeah, they made him seem like he's such a high end officer or
I
something
don't.
like
I
that.
don't really don't know. We're gonna find out who he is maybe later on, and as the show progresses. But I think just going back to I forgot the young corporal's name who was at one point like some sort of a I don't know if it was like a
Yeah, the one that
lieutenant
got fired, the one that went back to his mom's house,
or
and was all
demoted. I think he got
depressed.
demoted. I think
Demoted.
he got demoted. I don't. They didn't fire him. He even said, "I'm not firing you. I'm demoting you." Um, but I think like there was very I think he's trying to find himself because like it seems like in his whole entire life he struggles from failing. So he feels like he's always failing and he feels like, like is leadership my thing? Should I find a different avenue? Should I find a different field? Like that's why he's talking to his mom right now because he needs like that comfort and support. But I think there's more to him than meets the eye. I think we're gonna really find out what's going on with him. Either he's gonna try to take control again or if he's gonna somehow like switch sides, like maybe he's trying to understand like what he's fighting for, what he's there for. So I think that's what that's why we're focused on this character, and that's why they haven't killed this character off yet. But going back to some of these other characters of the team, we're getting some development and some history with each and every one of these members, because I feel like on the next episode, when they are infiltrating the base, I think some of them are gonna die.
Yeah, maybe one or
This is a
two.
Suicide Squad. I really think some of them are gonna die.
One might sacrifice himself for the better cause.
Skeen might be the one who's gonna actually sacrifice himself. I
Because he
think the
was saying,
one
he's like, what do you find? He's like, I really don't know.
the no Skeen might be the one who's gonna sacrifice himself for Clem. I think Skeen's gonna be like, yeah, I know I'm a jerk, but yeah, man, at least I get to die a hero. I don't know. I think he's gonna like sacrifice himself for the greater good, or just for. But
At least
yeah,
now we know that based on this episode, there's not going to be too much of the somebody's going to do somebody dirty. They already kind of put
I don't know.
that
But
out.
Skeen also, I don't know if anybody the one I suspect the most, it might be Goran. It might be Lieutenant Goran. I have a feeling he might do something, but at the same time, I don't think so because he also has hatred towards the Empire. His backstory was basically he fell in love with a local woman, and what happened was they found out that he was in love with a local woman, and you can't just hook up with just a local woman because that's not your imperial officer. Why you're gonna hook up with somebody in a lower level than you? So they demoted him, and they said something where he lost the woman that he fell in love with, that local woman, and then after that, I think what's her name? Vel was like, and that's it. He fell, like, and he didn't. He no longer liked the Empire, but I think they killed her. I have a feeling they killed her, and that's why
Either they killed her or they like took her to another planet.
I think
Can't
they
go.
killed her or imprisoned her or something. But I think they killed her, and now he's probably like, taking revenge for that. But I don't know, or maybe he found out that he killed her. But there's got to be a reason why, as to why he has why he's sacrificing his role as an officer, or sacrificing his position as an officer,
Yeah.
getting these rebels in and infiltrating. Like, dude, that's a big sacrifice. That's mutiny. Like that's treason, and I think that's death if they find out that he backstabbed the Empire.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So I'm sure they did something to that girl that he fell in love with for him to do something like this.
Yeah, yeah.
For him to what do you call this? Switch sides,
Switch
or
to the dark side.
no, not switch to the dark side. Switch sides to the good side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I have noticed in these last two episodes, there haven't really been much of the Cassian's history, like going back flashbacks when he was younger, or also like questions about like what about the sister? Like that was basically the whole gist of the first two episodes, 3 episodes, Now, episode 4 and 5, there was really no flashbacks that I remember.
Yeah, with the first episode, it really focused a lot with the flashbacks and his sister. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I think we're more focused on this job first before we even get into anything else, dude.
Hmm.
And but I think we're gonna find out. We'll find out more. I think we're gonna first uh, get whatever they need to get, infiltrate the space, finish this job, and then later on we'll find out, depending on how many people survive. We're gonna find out, like, what happens, to his sister. He might go ahead and fulfill his journey looking for his sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's 2 episodes of just planning. I wanted the I wanted the heist in this episode, but it's fine because I see that they're just trying to build the characters some more. They want the viewers to not fall, but they want the viewers to be more invested with the characters. That way, um, it's a better take later on once we find out. I mean, once they um, if any of them dies, it would be more of a bigger hit for us
For the
viewers.
viewers, yeah,
So
more emotional.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
that's true.
cool.
Because that's how it was when I was going through all their stories. I was like, damn, like, you kind of feel why a lot of these people are really in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Why are they fighting the cause for a better change? Because they all lost something,
yeah, yeah,
or don't believe that the system that was brought upon them was like basically enforced on them. It's not even like they had a choice to like choose. Hey, I want the I want to believe in this or not. Like they just either believe in it, or if not, then they just got rid of you. They like moved them over.
yeah. I'm really interested as far as like what's going on with the Sky Kyber like Kyber crystal. Why
Hmm.
they have it? Where did they get it? I know that in Clone Wars, there was an episode where Ahsoka Tano was training the children with Yoda, and they're training the younglings, and each youngling had to go through the cave, and of course fight their inner demons, or go through the puzzles, or go through all the obstacles and find their own crystal. And whoever finds their own crystal and comes back with the crystal, they can of course input
Make
that crystal into the lightsaber, and of course merge their own lightsaber. So that was pretty much the rule, and
that's
the
like the
whole
test
scene.
basically.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about the whole kyber crystal thing. But yeah, I want to learn more as to like how did Luthen obtain this kyber crystal. Because yeah, that's a big little Easter right there,
Hmm.
with the kyber crystals and everything.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, and you'll be able to see that also on my reaction video, because I actually did the reaction video, and that was the one thing I heard. I was like, Kyber Crystal. I was like, I know what that is. I was like, that's from, like, and then I got excited when I heard that. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
cool. Like that's definitely a valuable piece, because usually the Jedi's, they have to basically find their own kyber crystal, and there's some people that are just like mine them and probably sell them to like high end people who probably just use them for like crystals for like a necklace or something like that. But they don't know they can be turned into weapons.
I think they kind of use this kyber crystal like they were what do you call this? What do you call those NFTs? It's like you just keep them just just because they're valuable and stuff, and you can resell
It's
them
like
later on.
gold, collecting gold bars.
Basically, yeah. Well, this is like the Star Wars NFT and everything. But yeah, a lot of dialogue in this one, not a lot of action. We'll see what happens on the next episode. I still like it. Again, it's not going to be for everybody. I know that's not going to be.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
really
some.
feel it's
I
not
feel
for
some
everybody.
people are like, I didn't like this episode, blah, blah, but I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
really liked it.
it's fine. We're gonna be doing the so little updates of our channel. We're gonna be doing the not Super Nintendo, because that's not even
Super Mario.
Super Nintendo Land is not gonna be up until next year. But the Super Mario, I think the Super Mario World, is it Super Mario Brothers movie trailer. We're gonna definitely react to that and check that out. And of course, I am working on the chain reactions. The next chain reaction video that's about 50% done, and yeah, cosplay videos. Yeah, the Comic Con cosplay videos are in the works as well. Also, if you guys are going to LA Comic Con this December, We will be there for 3 days. If you guys haven't heard yet from our previous videos that I've mentioned, we will be cosplaying as RPD, which is the Resident Evil Raccoon Police Department. So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna be doing. I don't know if Efren's gonna go join us because he still hasn't bought his ticket.
I'll get it though.
he'll get it last minute and it's not gonna be available anymore.
They're gonna be available, especially around
Okay,
this time.
okay,
December.
if you say so. Look what happens with my boy Neil. You try to get things like last minute. Look what happened. You know,
Well, that's Horror Nights. That's a whole different.
no, not Hard Nights. Comic Con,
Oh,
San Diego. Oh well. We won't see Efren.
I'll be able to.
We won't see Efren at LA
I already
Comic
know my
Con.
costume as well.
And I bet you $5 right now, Efren's not gonna get his ticket by December. By December, he's probably gonna miss like 2 days because he's gonna be there for 1 day.
I'll be there.
Yeah, right. See how unconfident you are.
No, I'm definitely gonna go for sure.
So if you guys are going to Comic Con, go ahead and push your comments. If you guys are in the LA area and you guys are going to be attending LA Comic Con, yeah, let us know. And if you guys are cosplaying, yeah, definitely post a comment below. I know maybe some people are going to be dressed up as Cassian because Andor Cassian is.
That's
like
gonna be me.
I mean, Efren does kind of look. Yeah.
Throw the beer out, do my hair right.
Efren says he's going to cosplay, but he still doesn't have his costume yet. So
Or my ticket yet.
Or his ticket. So
Jesus.
Efren says a lot of things. Yeah.
But I always make it happen.
Okay. We'll see what happens. But yeah, guys. Special thank you, of course, to our Crown Knights, of course, that we haven't mentioned in the beginning. Jason Beltran and Invisible. Thank you very much. And if you guys are not Crown Knights yet, go ahead and check out Patreon for all the tiers and benefits that it comes along.
Become a member today.
If you want. And also, we are going to be going back to the Patreon page. Well, I will, of course, and double check and maybe like upgrade some of the tiers and stuff for your membership view or for your membership experience. But yeah, guys, anything else did you want to talk about this? Because there was really, I think this is more like character development with Andor with this episode. I do like some of the characters. I mean, Skeen is a pretty interesting character. Because you feel for him. These are characters that I believe that the writers want you to relate to, because these characters are normal. They have no superpowers. Their abilities are basically average at best in comparison to like Mandalorians or bounty hunters or anything like that.
Well, we don't know. We don't know how their shooting range or how they're fighting tactic. If they even actually they don't really have to fight in tactic. That's why they were just winging it. Once they get in there, we don't know how they're gonna get out, or didn't have a full proof. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're just like average people who are just trying to say, you know what, I don't give a fuck if I have to die. But I want revenge on the Emperor.
Now, well, in the rebels, in the rebellion, there are different jobs. Like you can be a X-wing pilots, and they're pretty good. Gold team, you got the red team, gold team. They're really good.
Those are really good, but
and then you've got your tech people.
That's how I feel like this guy is. What's his name? The young cat, the one that's always so innocent.
Which young cat?
The one that was talking about. Like,
I think he's Nemec.
Nemec?
I think so. Cinta is the girl who shares a blanket with another guy. She's the other girl, and then Skeen is the one who doesn't trust Clem, the one who took the Kyber crystal from him. Like, hey, he's got a Kyber crystal. It's a Sky Kyber. And Vel is a team leader. She's a blonde female. I think I saw her in Game of Thrones. I'm not sure, but she looks very familiar. Terramin is the second leader in command that she passed the leadership to. She's like, hey, by the way, you have a new team leader now. It's gonna be I think it's Terramin. Do you have a problem with that? And if you have any questions, you better say it now. And Terramin's like, are we gonna have any problems? And he's like, no, you won't have any problems with me. I just want to hear it from you. So that's Terramin, and then of course I think Nemec's the young guy. I think he's the tech guy.
I think they're gonna be really cool. Tarek and what's his name?
I think they're gonna die. I think this is a suicide squad. I think this is a suicide mission. They're gonna die, and then I think most of them will die. Maybe Val will survive. I think most of them will die. I think what do you call this? I think Clem will experience the death of his teammates, and he will he will understand why they sacrificed their lives on this mission, and that's what will kind of give him the idea. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a little bit, to make a difference. I don't know.
Either that or he might actually start hating the Empire much more that he's gonna be willing to
That's another
dive in more than
possibility.
it's just like I'm not here now for the money. I'm here to make a change.
That not see now you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, that could also be another case because yeah, he's just doing his job for the money, and yeah,
That's why they don't.
this
That's why the
might
team don't really like
this
him.
this might actually change him a little bit more to where because each of these members are doing something for a difference.
Well,
Each of these members, they
have
all
a
have
reason.
something in common. They hate the Empire, and there are different reasons why they joined this team and why they're rebelling against the Empire because something happened to them that the Empire caused, basically.
But they have a common goal, which is basically to strike back at the Empire and get some sort of revenge or justice for what happened to them. You know what I mean?
Now we're doing the cutting.
Now,
That's
basically,
that's what the axe forgets means. They were the axe, and we were the trees, and the axe never forgets who they shoot, but the trees will always remember. But this time we're going to be doing the cutting.
exactly.
That was the end of
Like
that.
the metaphor of like the whole episode itself, which is really cool. Like that's pretty deep. Because it's only Diego, the only or Cassian or Clem, the only one that's just there because he's gonna benefit off of it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have cared. He would have been like, "No, fuck this. Why am I gonna risk my life? Why am I gonna risk my life for this? I got to find my sister." So it's like seeing that. I hope that he will start changing his ways more, and that's what's gonna make him become like a good leader. When it comes down to him having to lead a squad, because eventually you can see the maturity level once he's already in Rogue One. You can see the big difference.
We're still far from Rogue One.
Exactly, far from it, but you can kind of.
I wanna take this. I want to take this far away from Rogue One right now because right now it doesn't even feel like Rogue One anymore. It just feels like right now it doesn't feel like right now. It just feels like it's just Andor, its own thing right now, and I want to see how this progresses. Let's see how the action goes with the next episode. Hopefully,
With the heist,
on the
yeah.
next episode with their heist. I don't know what they're gonna title it. Maybe they're gonna title it Imperial Base Heist or the Heist or whatever it's called. But let's see what happens with this. And yeah, so far it's good. I mean, it's slow. It is a little bit slow, but it really needs your undivided attention. Game of Thrones, the first season, even the first 2 or 3 episodes was really slow.
Yeah, I had
And
to
I was
really.
so confused. Like, okay, which house is who? Why does this house hate them? Who killed who?
Why is there so many characters that I'm gonna have to remember now?
Why is there so much sex going on?
Why is it? I know that's the.
Is this porn or is this a show? What
Yeah.
is going on? So, with Game of Thrones, even with season 1, I was like, what? I'm so confused. I can't even pronounce their names right now. Like, I had to actually write. I had to write their names, maybe rewound it a little bit, type their
Rewind
names
it.
out, and rewound it.
Rewounded?
Rewound.
Rewound.
Bro. Rewound. You can say rewind or rewound it. So I had to rewound it, and what do you call this? I had to write the names of the characters on my notebook and be like, okay, this person's this person's that, and this person's this, and this is the house, and this is the house, and this is the house that hates this house, and this is the house. Like, I
You
had
have to
do
create the family tree.
I had
there.
to do all that watching Game of Thrones, and I was still confused.
And I was like, oh, it's
Even
just
towards
fun.
the end, I think what really got me invested in the Game of Thrones show, I know we're talking about Andor, but I'm like jumping back and forth with Game of Thrones is towards the end with Stark when what's his name who's the father Stark again, Ed Stark or something.
Ed Stark, yeah.
Ed Stark gets his head chopped off, and I thought he was going to win because he was winning. He got the Night's Watch or something, or the something of the Watch, Knights of the Watch.
Yeah, the Knights of the Watch, the ones that guard the tower.
So he got the Knights of the Watch to come in and back him up, and he thought they were gonna back him up, but Littlefinger freaking betrayed him. So that's what got me invested, and that was all dialogue. and I was lost. I was lost. I had to watch the season twice, and going back to Andor, I feel the same way. With this episode, I was driving while watching this episode alone, so I was a little bit lost. Like, okay, what's going on? What are they talking about? How come? What do you call it? Nemec is talking about these different like what do you call this? What was that machine that he had? Those two machines.
It was like it basically reads
Navigational.
off. It's like a
It's two
navigation.
navigational
I thought it was like a tracker.
or tracker, but it's a navigational tracker. And one was older, and one was newer, and one was used by the Empire. Like one was like a modern version, and the other one was older. So it's kind of like comparing a Nokia phone to like a smartphone. Like, yeah, this Nokia phone is older, but the durability is much better than this Apple smartphone.
And then you can fix it by yourself.
Yeah, you
like,
can fix
on
it.
yourself,
Unlike
like,
this one, this one's newer, but still,
and you have to
it's
find
still
parts
trackable
and
and da da da. So just little things like that, you really have to pay attention, or you'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I have to watch this again.
Yep.
But overall, I still like it. It's not gonna be for everybody. Yeah. It's not gonna be for everybody. I already know, but I still like it. There's another small little detail here. So on the last review that we did, with Mon Mothma's and the man that was with her, I thought that was her advisor. Little did I know that was actually her husband, and they have a daughter together. So when the daughter came in, it's like, "Oh, mama," like, and she's like, "Why aren't you dressed? Put your dress on." It's like, "But I'm not going to. I have no class today, right?" And she was just arguing with her and da da da. And she said something about you going to this party, but you don't even care. You don't even care much about it. But see, again, Mon Mothma's playing her role as well. She's doing what Luthen's doing as well. Mon Mothma is doing what Lieutenant Gorn is doing. Is it Gorn? Am I getting his name right? Hold on, let me make sure it's Lieutenant Gorn. Yeah, Gorn. So Lieutenant Gorn being a mole, just the same thing as Mon Mothma. She's a mole as well, but she's playing a role as a Senate because they need what do you call this? They need information, whatever information they have.
To be a step ahead, basically.
Yeah. So whatever information she has, she can gather with Luthen, and then they can like swap information with each other. So they need all that. They need all the help they can get. And some of these people who are nobles or who are working with the Empire, they still have to keep their position of power, because with the position of power, it can help the rebellions, and it can help them and give them an advantage, especially with this infiltration.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what makes it dope about like spies or like double spies. Like, it's crazy how they have to play a certain role, adapt, adjust, evolve to be able to fit in, so that way when they come out with the information, they're not seen as like, oh, that's our mole right here, this is the person.
Well, somebody always gets caught.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually it's gonna happen.
I think Lieutenant Gorn is gonna get caught.
Well, of course, bro. He has a lot to like do. Look what they're gonna have.
I think he's gonna get caught. Either he gets caught in the next episode, and somebody catches it. And I like the fact that he's like ordering his men, like, "What are you doing right here? This is supposed to clean up. I need this clean up right away.
To paint it.
Like da da da. I need this clean up and da da da. And you soldier, go over here. You go over there. Like, he's trying to get his soldiers online because he's positioning his soldiers inside. That way he can get his other team to come in swiftly with no problems. Mm-hmm. That's why he's just ordering them around and just being like adamant and just being demanding. And I like Lieutenant Gorn so much.
Yeah, plus that's gonna give a reason for them to be able to blame Montiel. Like, man, I've asked them to do this, do that, do this. This is why we got robbed, because they weren't on top of their shit. You get me? Like, he can have that as an excuse to his exit out. Mm-hmm. To blame, like,
who does Lieutenant Gorn remind you of in Rebels?
In Rebels,
there's a character that he reminds you of, but do you know who he reminds you of? In Rebels.
In Rebels, it would.
Who's an Imperial officer in Rebels that switched sides?
Oh yeah, it was that. I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about. The one who ends up switching sides at the end.
Mm-hmm. Because of Zed.
It is. I'll tell you right now.
Or tomorrow. I forgot his name, but we get a lot of that. We get a lot of Imperial officers that does switch sides because
Is it Agent Kalis?
Callus,
Callus. There you go.
Agent Callus,
I think it's Agent Callus.
or Callus, yeah. So Callus was one of them. Like he was working with Imperials, and he, after getting stuck with Zed, in that one cave, and they had a chat and had a conversation, and like he's like Lasoth or something, or Lakoth or whatever
Yes,
Zed's
it's him. Huh?
Lazoth. So whatever his alien race was, like, oh, you killed my family, you killed this, and you killed like, look, I don't know who I killed. All I know is that we were ordered to do that. Okay, and when an officer of a higher command, higher than you, gives you an order, you have to do it, and you should understand it because you're a warrior. So wouldn't you do the same thing if you were given an order, good or bad? And then it's like, yeah, but sometimes you gotta ask yourself, like, are the orders always good? And then he's like, well, I still have to follow it. And it's like, yeah, but you have to give yourself, you have to think about it like, if it's not good, or just because it's an order doesn't always mean it's good. You have to give it a second thought. It's like, okay, am I doing something right? What am I really doing this for? Da da da. So that's why Callus switched sides, and he got caught. He got caught by by his superiors. Also, the same thing goes with Lieutenant Gordon. Now, Lieutenant Gordon already switched sides a while back. I mean, in the beginning of the show, he was already part of this team. So I don't know how long he's been doing it, but if he gets caught, they're gonna do the same thing with what they did with Callus.
Yeah.
But I really like that dynamic. I love the I do like the Lieutenant Gordon angle here, helping out and stuff. But
Yeah, yeah. I feel like those are just like the way that since they were already positioned, but since something's happened, it gives them a second chance to like change their mind and work the other way around and say, you know what, well, you screwed me over, I'm gonna screw you over 10 times worse. Like that's the same thing with the senator. I wonder how they were recruited the senator. Because I doubt like they just at her, she went and did all that just to get in. Like they have to get someone who's already positioned in power. You know what I'm saying?
And meanwhile, Dedra is sensing something as well. She's like, these you got what do you call it? You got to cancel, and Fonda are targeting consoles for like Jakku, but it's like so random, and they're like in different areas. And then she says something like, yeah, why would you hop over the fence twice? Sometimes it's random for a reason. So there's a plan going on here, and I'm gonna sniff it out, and yeah, all that stuff. So I think Dedra is really trying to get some soldiers with her to find out what's going on with this infiltration. And I think she's gonna be like the only one who's gonna find out. I don't know. She's probably gonna reveal what's. I think she might even reveal, Lieutenant Gordon's motive with this. So that's my deal. Yeah.
Damn, so the next episode is gonna get really good.
So yeah, that's that, guys. Thank you again for viewing. Go ahead and push your comments below and tell me what you think about this show. This is our live review of Andor season 1 of episode 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are excited for the next one.
Yeah,
so.
I'm excited for the next one. Hopefully, it's going to be a heist. Go ahead and if you guys haven't seen any of the chain reactions, go ahead and check out our chain reactions in the playlist. Go ahead and of course look out for the cosplay video that I'm working on. There's gonna be a lot of videos. I'm multitasking all these videos right now, so I will be posting a number of videos by next week, and yeah, for you guys' enjoyment. So you'd be surprised with some of the stuff that I'll be posting. Yeah, that's that, guys, on this Andor review.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And for our Crown Knights.
Our Crown Knights as well, Invincible, Jason Beltran, thank you so much for your support. Greatly appreciated. All of our viewers, we appreciate you guys. All the views seeing the views count go up is what we like to see. And yeah, we're going to be catching you guys next week, which is going to be the last episode of She-Hulk and the 6th episode of Andor.
Of Andor. Yeah.
Is
that it?
With that being said, enjoy your weekend. And
yeah, enjoy your weekends. Aubrey Freely _81. That is my IG.
You can find me at Efra Santos.
And remember,
we are always watching.
Always watching.
Peace. I'll turn this shit.